made to you so special? Nothing. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn!
Were you scared of it? No, not at all.
No, I'm from Brooklyn.
You're from Brooklyn, huh?
I just wanna rap.
Okay guys, Frank Stout, just a guy from Brooklyn, and you know what?
What a wonderful day!
Yes, why? Because I'm here to give you a new review of the new movie Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is the fourth installment of the new Planet of the Apes timeline. It's kind of a reboot of the older movies, which span back to 1968. This is part of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. And it all kicked off back in 2011. These movies have been really, really powerful and really, really fun. As always with my reviews, I want to give you the good, the bad, and the in-between. Be on the lookout as I'm going to follow this up with a ranking of the entire Planet of the Apes franchise, which is now a total of 10 movies. As always, I want to get right to it, but first I'm going to start off with the premise and a few of my general thoughts. 300 years after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes, Caesar is now legend and messiah, and his teachings have become religion for new ape clans spread out across this post-apocalyptic world. And humans have regressed into simple-minded creatures without the ability for speech. When the ape king Proximus Caesar perverts Caesar's teachings to enslave the clans, a chimpanzee hunter named Noah embarks on a harrowing journey alongside a human girl named May to free his people. This is a more centralized story which is very much its own thing. It's not a remake or retelling of anything from the old films, and it's going into uncharted waters. Noah is very different from Caesar. He's a young, adventurous member of what he calls Eagle Clan, as his apes have developed a bond with the beautiful birds. And let's face it, anything involving eagles is pretty fucking badass. They see humans, who they call echoes, as pests that must be scared away, and they rarely ever come into their area. And kicking things off with the good, if you thought the CGI for the previous 3 films was beautiful, this takes it up another notch. I kept trying to tell if I was looking at an actual forest or just green screen. Either way, this movie is visually stunning to say the least. Another positive is Easter eggs, which are all over the place. Some are in large shots like horseback riding along the beach. Also some familiar beats that harken back to the old films. And there's even a doll that says Mama, almost identical to the one in the 1968 original. It's also a good story with interesting characters for you to get invested in, and it adds to the lore for this new timeline. And moving on to the bad. It's a tad slow in the middle act where there's a lot of traveling. Noah meets an orangutan named Raka, who teaches him about Caesar, and through that, he learns to view May less as vermin and more as a companion. But some of that traveling could have been edited down a bit. But my biggest negative is in the third act. Noah and May are captured. And make no mistakes about it, they are persons of interest, and you'd think they'd be watched closely. And yet, oh so conveniently, May has tools, knowledge, and even frickin' explosives to carry out their goals. This stuck out like a sore thumb to me, and I am not buying any of this bread. And now we come to the in-between.
Where do we go from here?
The final scene leaves audiences with some big questions. Where is this going? It's clear that Proximus was the villain of the movie, although surprisingly a very likable one. Like, I could totally hang out with this guy. But it's a little confusing, and it's not really clear if he was the only villain. I've always assumed that these movies were leading into a reimagining of the 1968 movie. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe it will, and maybe it won't. So I'm very curious as to what happens next, and I'm trying to be optimistic. Could this lead into some really, really cool storylines and ideas? Absolutely. Then again, it could be something like the ending to The Predator, which I'm still trying to forget. And so it's time to give this movie a score, and I give it a 7.1 out of 10. If you're a fan of the franchise, or even just the recent Caesar trilogy, I say yes, this is theater worthy. Go out, hit the theaters, try to watch it on the biggest screen possible, as it is really a beautiful movie. It's also a serviceable follow up to those Caesar films, and something new for the franchise. But I was left with a few questions, and I'm not sure if I'm buying the bread on the direction that they're taking things. I'm taking a wait and see approach. Well, guys, that about wraps things up here. Besides my upcoming Apes ranking, I'm also working on a few projects simultaneously. One of them, the first season of the new Disney Plus X-Men 97. So be on the lookout for that too. So from the city that never sleeps, from the BK,
See my face in
peace.
lights, on my name on marquees found down on Broadway. Even if it ain't what it seems, I got a pocket full of dreams, baby. I'm from New York, concrete jungle.